Welcome to the Blerds podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blerds podcast. I'm Shannon.
I'm James.
I'm Jaja.
And we're back bringing you all our thoughts happening. And we're back bringing you all our thoughts on everything happening in nerd culture. This is what happens when you go 2 weeks without recording. But we're back. We're back this week. We're sorry for the no episode last week. I'm not going to shout anybody out for why we didn't have an episode last week. Jaja. But anyway, we're back. All three of us are back again this week. If you are new to the podcast and you are listening to us, make sure to go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to pull up our YouTube numbers and get a crowd over there. But if you're listening to us and you can only listen to the audio version, we thank you for that as well. And just continue to show support and tell your friends about the Blerds podcast. It's been 2 weeks. What have you guys been up to? There's a lot going on this week. There was a lot going on last week too, so we have some stuff to catch up on for sure. Some game releases, trailers, lots of things to talk about. But before we do that, what are some nerdy things that you guys have been up to?
Without any more stalling, I have watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run. I know everyone has been waiting for this moment, but it finally happened.
And what's the
Of
verdict?
course.
Absolute gas. 5 stars. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah. What a great opening.
Question for you before you go in any further in this. Is it true that they reset the universe so I could watch Steel Ball Run without having finished the rest of the JoJo's parts? That's what somebody told me.
All right. We got to address the LARPers early, I see. All right. So the universe has been reset, technically.
Okay.
So it's essentially new characters starting off in this part. With that being said, you could start from part 7. Nobody would recommend that. If you ask any person what part of a 9-part story should you start from, they will always say 1. People have been saying that if anyone's saying that people should start from part 1, they're calling them gatekeepers. I didn't realize it was gatekeeping telling someone to watch a story in order, but apparently they're saying you're gatekeeping now if you suggest someone to start a story from the beginning of the story.
I don't think that that's the proper use of the word gatekeeping, people, but whatever.
It's getting bad. But yeah, everyone's calling everyone LARPers, gatekeepers. It's weird times in the JoJo fandom at the moment. But so technically, part 7 is a new universe, new characters. So, I mean, there is context still lost if you haven't watched the previous 6 parts. But, I mean, Netflix themselves has said you could start at this part, which, I mean, technically they're correct. The story is starting over, kind of, from this point. But, I mean, there's still recurring themes from the other parts that you like, wait, what's going on? I mean, you could be missing context. So you absolutely should watch from the beginning because it's the beginning of a story. It'll be like, let's say if at any point in Game of Thrones, like the new season started with different characters. Like, would you tell anyone, hey, start here because it's different characters now? You probably would not. But for some reason with JoJo's, it's become that. I think what it is, so I'll address the LARPers here. I think they want to be part of a fandom or get likes and views from a fandom or a title because their concentration is slowing down. They didn't hop on some sort of bandwagon. Let me go rage bait JoJo fans or let me pretend I like JoJo's because people are talking about this so I can get likes and views. I think that's what's going on. So I don't think they want to enjoy the series. They want to enjoy talking about the series. Conversation or get likes and views from people that do actually enjoy it because I don't see what's going on. Why would you start a series in the middle? I don't understand.
Wow. you had a lot.
This has been weighing heavy on my heart. Yeah, this has been weighing heavy on my heart. But I mean, this is like, it's not just what Steel Ball Run. It's like, it's kind of been for years. People always say, oh, you can just start JoJo's anywhere. You can't. I mean, it's an ongoing story, but people always say that you can just pick up and start or skip parts or they'll be like, oh, don't watch this part because it's boring. It's like are you enjoying the series or you're not? I don't think people are enjoying the series. I think they just want to give reviews and hot takes or enjoy, what comes with mentioning a series that they know a lot of people feel, passionately about. So,
wow, you heard it here first, people. You can't
from a
watch it
person,
from part 7.
Normal person. Yeah,
I'm
don't
gonna
watch from part 7.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Jossie that I'm not gonna watch it from part 7 because he's the one that told me that I can just watch it from there. Sorry, Jossie.
Unfortunately, Jossie,
I'm gonna just keep watching.
Should watch from the beginning. This is no gatekeep. This is how you enjoy media. Why would you start anything in the middle of it?
Whew. Wow, starting off early. Okay, James, I'm gonna just watch it from part 3 where I was. I'm gonna just work my way up.
Yeah, just keep on going where you are. Yeah, I mean, like you already have some background context. Like characters from other parts do still make appearances in different parts. So it's not like.
So I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't compelled to start watching part 7. Like that didn't feel right to me. So I have not done that. I was just wondering.
Gotcha.
So
part 7 is indeed fire.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. So I'll be watching part 7 whenever I get up there, probably in a couple months. But thank you for that.
Of course, hey, I had to set the
Thank you
record
for
straight.
dropping your thoughts on that.
It's a lot of LARPers out there.
Okay, so what else? Sorry, I interrupted you.
So I was doing a master rewatch of JoJo. So I did finish that. I finished it a week before Steel Ball Run even came out. So once I was watching part 6, cooking. Stone Ocean, absolutely cooking. So I finished that. So I watched the entire series before Steel Ball. I rewatched the entire series. Let me set the record straight there. I've watched it before, but I rewatched the entire series before Steel Ball Run came out of my own volition. I just wanted to. See, I was doing that. I watched Vigilantes. Still keeping up with that week to week. Actually, no, I didn't. They paused the dub, so the dub is paused for some reason. But I think it comes back this week. And JJK, I've been keeping up with that. One more episode left of that. The most recent episode, there was just text wall on text wall. You pretty much have to read all the text and then rewind and then actually watch what happened in the fight because it's just text everywhere. It's an ongoing meme about that that I think is pretty funny too. Gaming wise though, Rivals, been playing that new season, new character. White Fox is out. It's pretty good. A bit tough to use, so I got to play a little bit differently to get max value out of her. I beat the game Control, so boom, one off my backlog. I was trying to beat 5 games from my backlog.
Nice.
Beat that game. Ghost of Yotei online mode came out. Played some of that with the bros and a little bit on my own. Been having that. That's pretty fun. They put a lot of work into this. Red Dead Redemption 2, I jumped back into that. So that's probably the next game from back. Actually, probably one of the next games from my backlog I'll beat. And of course, some Dead by Daylight. And then I started Ratchet and Clank on
Nice.
5. So between either that or Red Dead 2, I probably will beat Ratchet and Clank first because it's a shorter game. But yeah, one of those two I'll end up beating soon. So, but yeah, a whole lot of gaming. This is 2 weeks worth of stuff, by the way. Chainsaw Man, keeping up. That actually has one more chapter coming out, and I think it's this week. So it's going to be ending in a very strange place because it seems like it just wrapped up too quickly. So we'll see what the last chapter yields. And then One Piece, of course. I watched the live action. I finished the live action. Yeah, shop. Boom, One Piece.
Nice.
If anybody wants to LARP One Piece, you can just watch the live action. Don't jump in One Piece and start after the time skip because that's what essentially what people are saying they're going to do with JoJo. Start after some sort of time skip. And then reading, it's a book called Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've been reading that. So keeping up. Nice. This is my 3rd book, so if I can complete one a month, I'll hit my 12. But yeah, that's all my stuff.
Nice. No Invincible for you, James?
Wait, I did watch that. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay. Dang. Okay. Some crazy stuff happens in the 3rd episode, but we will be spoiler free this week then. Okay. I'll go next. I haven't been watching very many animes. I'm very behind. I'm so behind. I'm behind on JJK, which based on what you said, James, I'm kind of glad because it kind of seems like I would have been mad in this last episode again.
It was a lot of action, but it was a lot of text. So
okay. And I can't believe the season is almost over already. So
well, it's one of those like part.
Right. But it was how many episodes have been out? 12?
That was 11, so it'll be 12.
Where did 12 weeks go? I have no, that seemed very fast to me. And Frieren is about to be over too. It's kind of crazy, but I'm very behind. I'm like 5 episodes behind, to be quite honest with you all.
Frieren, I haven't watched that yet. Frieren fans have been review bombing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run.
What?
Because it debuted at like the highest rated episode or something like that on my anime list. So there are Frieren fans coming in droves to review bomb it. So that way Frieren could take the #1 spot again.
Oh, okay. That's completely unnecessary, people. Why?
There's some weird stuff going on. People are consuming content competitively. I don't understand. I don't think people enjoy content. They enjoy being like part of a fandom. I don't know what's going on anymore.
That's very strange. Do we not have anything better to do with our lives? Why does it matter if something is #1? As long as people are watching it and your show is not at risk of being canceled, what are we doing right now? I don't understand.
But I do still need to watch the new Frieren.
Yeah, Frieren, I also kind of fell off of week to week just because I also thought it was kind of slow to start off season 2, so it wasn't really engaging me on a week to week basis. So now that it's almost done, I'll sit down and lock in and finish it. But yeah, I'm very, very behind on all of my animes. I did spend the last few weeks finishing that anime Beastars, which is, I will say, it's a very weird show. It's good, but it's very strange. And I just randomly finished that because I never finished it. It just popped up on my Netflix one day and I'm like, sure, whatever. So I finished that. That show is over now. This was the last season that just came out and ended. So I watched that. I've been keeping up with Blue Box, the manga, waiting for a new chapter of A Sign of Affection should be dropping this week. So looking forward to that. I watched Invincible. I don't know if I said that already. All 3 episodes. Watched that. I finished One Piece season 2. I went to the movies to see the first 2 episodes in theaters. They released the first 2 episodes in theaters the day that it came out. So I did that, and it was cool to go to the movie theaters to watch that. I don't like I said before, Netflix is starting to do this thing where they're releasing their stuff in theaters, whether it be like an episode or a couple episodes. And I know we like go back and forth on what the point of that is, but I find it fun to just be around fandom and watch something that we all collectively enjoy. So that was fun. And we'll talk about that. I know we're a little bit late to the One Piece hype, but people are still talking about it. So we're going to give our thoughts on it a little bit later in the show. And then what else did I do? I have been playing Kingdom Hearts again, randomly. I said I was going to start playing it again, and I have, just because it's a comfort game. And I've been having a lot of anxiety lately. So I have been playing that. But that game is also giving me anxiety because I'm playing it on proud mode for the first time. I've never played it on proud mode before. So I'm like, okay, like this is going to be, I'm playing through, I'm going to do something different this time. But now it's frustrating me because proud mode is hard, obviously. But it's just, it's aggravating me because I'm dying in places that I shouldn't be. But I'm having fun on my latest playthrough of Kingdom Hearts. And I have started watching the Rad Brad, who is a video game streamer. Shout out to him. I've been watching him play Crimson Desert. I haven't gotten very far into his playthrough yet, but his like first video is like 2 hours long. So we're going to talk about Crimson Desert too, but that's all of my, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that is all of my nerdy things for this week. Jaja, what have you been up to?
Okay. Yeah, we saved the best for last. I wish I would have went first. So my nerdy things aren't that exciting. It's more of the same. For anime wise, I've been watching Sentenced to Be a Hero still, My Hero, and then I've been watching the One Piece live action. I think I got 1 episode left in that. I'm on the season finale, and then been watching Paradise, of course, keeping up with that. And video game wise, been still playing The Division. Been enjoying that. Some Arc Raiders, Avowed, and now NBA 2K26. Now that I have it, so those are the games that I've been cycling through. Other than keeping up with like gaming news and stuff like that, that's my nerdy things.
You haven't played Crimson Desert?
No,
I could have sworn you would have been on Crimson Desert from the first day it dropped.
I mean, I'm not one of those that got to rush to. I know I'm gonna like the game.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, I'm gonna like the game. Nothing when we get to talking about it, like people are being a little bit petty about the peak
There's
of the
a lot.
game.
Honestly, I've never seen, or maybe I have, but like just recently, I have not seen the internet divided over a game like this in such a while. There's just so much, there's just such a stark line on that game. So yeah, we'll talk about it, but I'm so surprised. I almost could have sworn that you would have came on here talking about Crimson Desert.
Part of me wants to like stick to my principles and wait for a sale, but I might cop it. I might cop it and play it.
Okay. Oh, you did mention that you might wait for a sale, but who knows when that's going to be?
Is it a full price game?
And then the first sale is only going to be what, like $5 off, if anything. So I might as well just bite the bullet.
Might as well just dive in. I'm pretty sure it's a full price game because from what I am seeing and hearing, it is a massive.
If anybody's waiting for my review on this game, I'm gonna like it a lot. I can tell you that.
Okay, well, let's see when you actually start to play it, Jaja. Let's see. I don't know. I think that's it's a little bit too soon to say that. Yeah, it's $70. So at least it's not $80 game, but it is the normal price. Okay, yeah, so we'll talk about Crimson Desert. It just launched last week. And it launched to a huge Steam concurrent player count. So the game was already set up for success just because there was a lot of hype around the game. Like there was a huge amount of hype around the game leading up to launch. And now that it's out, I'm seeing a huge amount of mixed things about it. You have your camp of people who love it. You have your camp of people who absolutely hate it. And then there's like a few people that are in the in-between. Actually, there's a good chunk of people in the in-between. But I've been seeing just a lot of just like stark opinions on either
Very
side.
Polarizing game.
Yeah, for sure. So Crimson Desert, so on Steam, it was approaching 400,000 pre-launch copies that were sold on Steam. So that represents a revenue of over $20 million just in the pre-sale. And we don't know what the numbers are from PlayStation and Xbox, obviously, because they don't publish their numbers for whatever reason. So, and I think after the game launched, it was somewhere around like 250,000 concurrent players, I think. Yes. So it's doing pretty well at launch, but as well as it seems to have been doing on launch, the publisher's stock price has dropped 30%. So Pearl Abyss is the publisher. Their stock price plunged 30% as a result of the Metacritic score, which was 78%. At the time of when this article was published. It could have gone up or down by now, I'm not sure, because that was based on like 85 critic reviews. I think that they were definitely expecting the Metacritic score to be a little bit higher, obviously, which is why their stock has gone down. But by the time this podcast comes out, it could have been fluctuating a little bit. So, like I said, the stock price was down 30%.
From what I was reading, it looks like you said, like the investors were expecting, I guess, a bigger boom out of the gate, and apparently the Metacritic score was with people like complaining about the story mostly, like there wasn't like a cohesive story, and there was just a lot of random other like small things that I don't think would bring it down to a 78. But
well, I've been seeing a lot of like kind of substantial things as well. Like people are complaining about the controls, and Pearl Abyss has
seen that.
Yeah, Pearl Abyss has come out and said that they're going to fix the control issues that people are complaining about, but I've seen a lot of people complain about that. And then also just the graphics, depending on what you're playing it on, people have been complaining about that. Like people are saying that it's not really set up to run well on a base PS5, that you like need the PS5 Pro, which I think is, I don't know if that's entirely true, but people have been talking about that as well. And then, yeah, a lack of a story. Some people are complaining about like how the game just kind of like starts off. It kind of just like throws you into it, quite literally. Because when I was watching the Rad Brad stream, he hit start and it kind of just like there was no tutorial or anything. You were kind of just in there. You're just kind of in the world. The game just started. Like there was no background story or anything that like you would be used to as you're starting a game for the first time. So it was kind of jarring the way that the game kind of just started off.
Some people are having trouble with the puzzles and stuff like that.
Yeah, some people are having trouble with the puzzles. It reminds me of Elden Ring, kind of like the way that it kind of just tosses you in. But even Elden Ring had a tutorial, so I don't know. It's a little bit different. So those are like the biggest complaints that I've been seeing. And then also this game is like super long, which I don't know. So I've been listening.
Could be a good thing, I would think.
Well, I think it's
These
a
are
good
gamers we're talking about.
Is there such a thing as a game being like too long though? Because IGN, the reviewers on IGN played the game for 110 hours and said that they could not give their final review yet after 110 hours of playing. I'm just like, that sounds crazy.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a really long game, and that's one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible for a game that's that long to be good, but if people are saying that there's a lack of a narrative, then I can imagine that, like, I don't know. Again, I haven't played it. I haven't gotten very far into watching someone play it, so I'm only going off of what the internet's saying. But it's kind of crazy that after 110 hours, you find that you can't give a final review. IGN. That might just be an IGN problem.
For me, that would mean there's a lot of substance and stuff that you're still finding new things in the game. It's not getting repetitive. That would mean all good things.
I know, but after 110 hours? I guess it's like, who has the time to sit and play this game? Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, wow, Jaja is never going to finish this game.
And
when I thought you were playing it, I was like, you're never going
to. I'm getting this point from somebody else, but they were saying that these people who are, getting review codes for the game, their job is to play the game, beat the game, review the game. If this is a huge game with a whole bunch of stuff to do, these guys are literally like trying to rush through it and not really take time and enjoy the game at a steady, like not everybody's going to rush through the game. So like you got to take that into consideration. Some of these reviewers are going to enjoy the game differently than a person who's like casually playing it. Like not everybody's speeding through it. So
I don't even think that's true too, but I listened to a gaming podcast and they had early access to the game as well. And they were saying, yeah, we're not going to have our full review because we're not done. It's a really massive game. I don't think they were given enough time to actually sit and like finish it by the time it actually came out. So from what I'm seeing, a lot of people actually haven't finished it.
So the people who are meant to review the game they can't give their review because they haven't finished it. But all these people have all this stuff to say negative about. I don't know. I feel like it's like a little smear campaignish. This is just my conspiracy brain going, that there's might be some people that don't want this game to succeed. And I can give you a bunch of reasons why they wouldn't want this game to succeed. It's 6 years in the making, a really ambitious game. Like and you could tell they took time and care, like trying to give the players enough stuff to do in the game to keep them engaged. And just the little like it's not the critiques of the games that I've heard that's negative. It doesn't 78. It doesn't warrant a 78 Metacritic. Give it an 80, 82. Like I think this game is a straight 90, 95. But
you haven't played it yet, John. You can't give a review. You haven't played it.
Okay, fair enough. I think this
yeah.
game has been on my radar for years.
I know, but you haven't played it, so you can't give a review. James, what were you about to say?
Nah, Jaja was onto something though. So I think people like the way people look at gaming now, or at least talk about gaming now, like games are either dead on arrival or they're the greatest thing to ever come out. Like there's no middle ground. There's no, hey, I enjoyed this game. You know, it may not be, you know, my favorite or the best, but you know, I enjoyed it. There is no more of that anymore. It's just, all right, this game is the best thing that was ever made, or this game is not for me, so it doesn't deserve to exist. That it's a lot of that going on in gaming now. So right now, the people that, you know, don't, Crimson Desert may not be their cup of tea. They're like, oh, this game is trash. Let's trash it. You know, I mean, they are, you know, buying it to, like on Steam, you have to have played, you know, a certain amount of time to, you know, give it a review, which I think is completely fair. But I think people are buying it and refunding it just so they can get into that review window, or they're just getting online and just straight thrashing it because, you know, it's not their cup of tea. And someone described it as Just Cause, but in a fantasy setting. So if anyone's familiar with the game Just Cause, you can do pretty much anything in that game. So this is that in a fantasy setting. But yes, Just Cause is in a more realistic setting. So, I mean, if Just Cause wasn't your cup of tea, like Crimson Desert probably won't be either. But yeah, no, it's just a lot of extremism going on in the gaming just sphere right now, where people are kind of acting like they're just the supreme tastemakers, and if they don't like it, this game, like no one should be able to play this game at all.
To add on to that point, there is also like an argument that I've heard floating around that I kind of agree with, that like the gaming media is kind of losing its influence like on the gamers. Like review scores used to mean a lot more back in the days, especially when like it was in magazines and stuff like that. And like for instance with High Guard, you know, the media hype around that when it first announced, it was like, you know, supposed to be a good game, and then when the gamers got their hands on it, it wasn't. And I think they're kind of testing the waters to see if the media can control how gamers buy games, pretty much. And I think we're seeing that right now with Crimson Desert. Like they tried to trash it. The concurrent player count went down for like a second, but it's back up to 240,000 players right now to when it launched. So, and I'm looking at the Steam charts right now, by the way. So, I mean, if people are still playing the game, then, you know, who cares what people are saying about the game? We'll see the proof in the pudding. If people stop playing the game, then, you know, maybe I'll have to bite the bullet on this one, but I don't see, I think this game is going to be going strong, and a lot of, I don't know, whatever small complaints they have about the game are fixable, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And Chris has said that they're serious, that they're listening to fan feedback, and they're serious about making updates and changes to the game where necessary to address problems if they are actually real problems. But yeah, I agree with what both of you all said. Like
if I was smart when that stock plunged 30%, I should have bought some. Seriously.
Also, keep in mind, this is a single player game. So like the concurrent player count, like as people, you know, start playing other things, or they have got their enjoyment out of this game, whether that be, you know, beating it or experiencing it for X amount of hours, the player count is probably going to dwindle after over time because it's a single player game. So like with most single player games, like after people are on to the next thing, like the player count is going to drop. So people do often bring up their Steam charts and like, oh, look, it's dropped by, you know, X amount. But like if people are done playing that game, they're not going to just log into it every day just to check a box and say, oh, look, the player count is still high.
Yeah. And unfortunately, no, gotcha.
I was going to say, I think that Metacritic score came out like the day it dropped, or maybe the day after. Like it was.
Yeah.
They didn't even give the game a chance to breathe at all. So
let me look and see if there's like an updated number.
And I treat this the same way I do with like movie and TV reviews. Like I'll hear critics review, but I still got to see it for myself. Even though you said it was bad, I might like it. Like, you know.
Wait, who said it was bad? Me?
No, I'm just saying I treat video game reviews the same way I treat movie reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't always agree with critics on, you know, certain things. Sometimes they have greatly praised, like The Witcher 3, like rave reviews. I played it myself. I was like, okay, this is for me. I'm not going to say it's a horrible game, but, you know, not something that I enjoyed.
So the Metacritic score is still sitting at 78, if I'm looking at this correctly. Yeah, actually. So yeah, on PC, the Metacritic score is sitting at 78 still, with 72% being positive, 27% being mixed, and only 1% being negative. So that's not terrible. Mix is good. Mix is not bad. It's people have their opinions on stuff all the time. Unfortunately, I wish games weren't so expensive right now, where people's outward opinions on games directly influence if you were buying a game or not. Because if I saw so much negative reviews on something, then I would be hesitant about spending $70 on a game myself, right? So it's kind of unfortunate that is the way it's set up now, where if people are choosing to bash something, it is definitely heavily influencing whether or not people decide to pick up this game for themselves. Although I still recommend, if you were interested in playing something, to still see for yourself. And there are ways to do that without buying the game, like watch some streamers play it. You know what I mean? Instead of just like outright listening to people's negative reviews about stuff. Because yes, I do agree that people just find things to complain about if it's something that they don't like about it, or if the gaming industry is toxic and gamers are toxic. So if they're against something, they'll find a way to be against it publicly, and that's not great. So I would recommend still doing your own research before you decide if you want to play it or not.
Just to be fair, the reviews on Steam, that about 32,000 positive reviews and then 15,000 negative reviews. So like 1 out of every 3 players doesn't like the game. So it's mixed. It's mixed reviews. It's not like, usually a good game will have like positive, overwhelmingly positive. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's only time will tell with this game. We'll see what happens. It's not every game's for everybody, but I know I'm gonna enjoy this game. I know I can guarantee you there's no way I'm not gonna enjoy this.
All right, well, you're talking now. I'm dying to know, so you have to buy it soon. You have to play it soon.
Gotcha.
Because I really want to know. All right, anything else about Crimson Desert before we move on?
Nope, we can move on.
All right. Well, this is older news now because Pokapia has been out for, that's how you say it, right? Pokapia. Okay. Yes. Cool. Pokapia has been out for like 2 weeks now, but it launched, so it sold 2.2 million copies in 4 days, which was like basically over the first weekend that it was announced. And people, when they announced this game, we were unsure of how people would respond to it, but it is seemingly doing well. And I don't know what their sales are at now. I have not looked for an updated number, but at launch it sold 2.2 million. And people are enjoying it, it seems. So good for them.
Yeah, as far as like the YouTube channels that I watch, almost everyone likes that game and has intentions of playing it or has played it and liked it. It seems people are even saying this is like a game of the year contender type of thing. Like people are really enjoying this game. So
no way.
I mean, like, yeah, I'm a Pokemon fan, but this is not my cup of tea. But I get it. Every game's not for everyone.
It?
Like I said,
who's saying it's a game of the year contender?
People are saying that a lot of people really like this game.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing the same. I'm hearing this is actually a console seller for Switch. So the people that I know that have it, everyone is saying only good things. They're actually, I have a friend of mine who's trying to convince me to buy a Switch to play this game. So I don't think I'll drop that money on Switch to play Pokapia, but like the feeling that we had, because me and my friend, we were like heavily interested in Animal Crossing New Horizons when it came out. So they're like, it's like that, but better. Like I know how much fun I had playing Animal Crossing. So if it's better than that, then I mean, there's an argument to be made. Like I don't think I want to buy a Switch specifically to play this game, but people truly enjoy this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. I'd be so surprised if this game won Game of the Year, just because it's such a niche type of game. So that'd be very interesting. And like strictly, it's a Nintendo game. So I mean, not to say that Nintendo games, it's crazy for a Nintendo game to win Game of the Year, because that's not true. But it's a very niche type of game. So if that's true, that'd be very interesting. But yeah, I've been hearing nothing but good things. James, I wouldn't be surprised if you turned up with a Switch. I'll give it a couple more weeks of your friends begging you to buy it.
We'll see, or something.
We'll see if you get one.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I get it. A lot of people like those, farming sims. Those tend to be really popular games, and then putting a Pokemon stamp over it, I get it.
Yeah. I get it too. And it seems like it's fun. Like those types of games are not for me. I remember I bought Animal Crossing during the pandemic and I played it for all of an hour and I never touched it again.
I got hundreds of bombs.
That type of game is not for me. It's too slow for me. Although I love The Sims, so I don't know. I don't really understand where the disconnect there is, but yeah, it's not for me. But it looks fun when I see people like streaming it. It looks interesting, so I'm not surprised by that either. But congrats to them. I don't think anyone's really surprised at the numbers that it's doing. James, did you get the updated sales count? Is that what you were looking for when I said that I didn't?
For Pokapia?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, sorry. I heard you typing, so after I said that, so I thought you were looking at it, but it's fine. But either way, I'm sure it's doing great right now. So let's move on. So I put this in the rundown last week also. It's basically, and we've talked about this a little bit, about like why PlayStation has seemingly decided to back out of making their games available on PC from day one. We know that it was a rumor before, but I feel like now it's kind of... Have they admitted to this by now, or is it still a rumor?
I think they said they want to focus on their console ecosystem. So
yes.
Yeah, they are kind of pulling back from dropping on PC.
Yes, and there are rumors. There was a lot of speculation as to why that was, but this article is basically saying that this developer that wrote this article thinks that it's because, not because of Xbox, but because of the Steam machine. And basically, right now, when the Steam machine comes out as a console, and you're going to be able to play basically all of your PC games like in a console type of way, in a more accessible way, I guess, because it's a console. People are going to lose incentive to then even want to buy a PlayStation. Buy a PlayStation if you don't have a PlayStation already, and then basically like it's going to be all in one. Like it's going to have everything that you need right there. So it's like, why do I need to continue to buy or support Sony or like play PlayStation games on my PlayStation when I have this Steam machine? So that is the new theory that's out surrounding this, which I kind of get. I don't know if I agree with it, but I understand why they would seemingly decide to make the decision to pull back a little bit and hold on to their exclusives, basically, because I do think when the Steam machine comes out, what else gives Sony the edge other than their exclusives? That's how I feel. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think focusing on your console and your ecosystem kind of makes sense from a business standpoint. Because I mean, if there's an all-in-one that's out, people are naturally going to gravitate towards that. Like if I had the option to buy a blender and a juicer, and I could get a 2-in-1, I'm gonna get the 2-in-1. I'm not gonna buy a blender and a juicer. You know,
sure.
Regardless of what the sole blender or the sole juicer does. If there's something that does both things, just as perfectly fine, I'm gonna get the one thing, pay my one price, take up the one amount of space in my home. So I think if there's an all-in-one out there, you got to have something that sets you apart enough that, okay, this thing actually can't do what our thing does. So let's hold something back. From a business standpoint, that's what makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Jaja, what do you think? I feel like
no, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense for Sony to double down on what seems to be their strategy of, having really good exclusives to make people buy the console, and having it on Steam is not as it's creating an opportunity where someone doesn't have to buy the console and play the game. And not only that, you can access it on Xbox too. You'll be able to access the game on technically Xbox console. So it makes sense for them to double down on their strategy to keep the single player games close to home and let the multiplayer games maybe go on Steam or whatever. That makes more sense. But and then we'll see which strategy works, the Xbox strategy or the Sony one. Like that's what competition is about. So
yeah,
it makes sense.
If the Steam machine ever sees the light of day, we'll see.
Yeah, they are closely guarding this. I do have some numbers here. So there always was the question of how well PlayStation games sell on PC. So the best-selling PlayStation game that came to PC was Spider-Man. Spider-Man on Steam sold 700,000 copies. On PlayStation, it sold 16 million copies. At that point, it's like, all right, is this worth our money? Because it takes time, money, and effort to port a game to PC. It's not just, hey, copy paste a file onto PC. There's probably a dedicated team working on this with budget that costs money. So are they getting their return on investment by selling only 700,000? And that's the best selling. So if they outpaced by a factor of 16, like they sold 16 times more on PlayStation, they're like, okay, maybe this wasn't worth our money to put it on PC because only 700,000 people bought this. And this was at the end of like 2025. I'm sure they probably sold like 6,000 more copies by now. But yeah, those numbers speak for themselves. They're like, okay, this probably isn't worth our time to put these games over here because the money that we put into putting it on here, we kind of either didn't get back or just broke even. So
yeah.
And it's still averaging selling per month 1 to 200,000 on PS5. So it kind of makes sense that okay, we're going to keep this thing Sony because the time and money we're putting into dropping it on PC is we're not getting that back. So
that makes sense. Yeah,
and not for nothing, it might also play a factor into it that when they see Xbox games drop on their storefront, they become bestsellers. The pre orders go off the roof. So they're seeing this right now. I think Starfield is in like the top 3 pre-order list for a PlayStation because that's going to drop soon. So that might have played a factor. Just seeing how the demand might not be there for at least on Steam specifically for the PlayStation games, and who knows, like them coming out a year after might also, PC gamers are very. I feel like if they wanted to play Spider-Man, they would have found a way to play Spider-Man.
And also that point. So once it does drop on PC, like the floodgates are open to piracy. So now it's like, okay, we're for sure going to sell less because there's pirated content out there now. So it's a little, it's less easy to pirate if it's only on PS5. But once it drops on PC, you open the floodgates. Everybody is coming to the grand line once you drop your game on PC.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Their decision makes sense, and I don't necessarily think it's out of a place of greed. I just think it's out of a place of survival. So I get that. I respect it. All right, let's move on.
So yeah, I think at the Game Developers Conference, NVIDIA announced some new technology, the new DLSS AI upscaling.
Yes.
And there was some demos shown that shows how the AI takes the graphics and makes it quote unquote better. And this gaming channel that usually reviews like gaming graphics and performance, it's called Digital Foundry. They were doing an interview and being shown the technology, and they pretty much, hyped it up, said how it looks great, and they really didn't like ask any questions about like they didn't ask enough challenging questions to like challenge the developer on what the technology is doing, because it was a little bit confusing. I think they asked them like, is the like redoing the graphic or is it using the assets that the developers put in the game? And there was like mixed responses, but then it came out after that the AI is actually like changing the shapes of the geometry of the asset. And the interview came out like kind of at the same time as the technology was being shown at GDC. So people reacted to both at the same time, and a lot of people did not like the AI technology. They did not like how it made the games look. And I agreed in some cases, and some cases it looks better than others. But like, I don't think. And then the other question came into play is, are the developers okay with this? Because the developers took time to do the work and they did graphics for the game, and then you're just gonna take AI and just redo their graphics. That's also like a question. So I don't know if you guys seen how the AI is upscaling the graphics, and what do y'all think about how it looks?
Sorry, were you about to say something, James?
You can go ahead. What's your thought?
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say I only saw this one photo that's in the article that you put in the rundown, so I can't really speak too much on it. I mean, you can definitely see the difference with the DLSS 5 on, but to your point, I do agree. I don't know if I'm on board with basically AI just basically if it basically is redoing all the graphics. I don't know if I'm 100% on board with that, but also I don't 100% like when you brought this up. This is the first time I was reading about it, so I don't really know 100% where my opinion is, but you can definitely see a difference. And
yeah, and when you watch, if you see the demo, and this is my opinion, so you might have a different one. Once you start seeing a lot of the redoing of the AI like upscaling, it kind of gives it, you start to see like that AI, like this is AI, you know what I mean? Like,
okay,
you know what I mean? It gives it that like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just, you could tell like this is the AI did this.
It's basically like a fuck you to the developer, no? Because it's like we're just gonna here we go, upscale this, and it's gonna look better. Yeah, like I don't really like that at all. Just as a first reaction, I'm not really gelling with that too much.
And I think some of the developers that signed off on the technology learned at GDC about like what it was actually doing, and now they're kind of like questioning it. I think Capcom's one of them. But yeah, this was a huge story. The last couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah. I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah, I think on people it looks weird. But on scenery it looks good. Like, so in some of the demos they showed, landscapes. I'm like, okay, this does look better. But then I mean it's art, so it's like subjective. So like, does everybody want hyperrealism in their video game? Like, from the example from Resident Evil, it's like, okay, it looks like someone used like a Snapchat filter on the game, and like,
Yeah.
Maybe people don't want to play that style. But then sometimes, like, let's say it overcorrects. So in the sense of a game like, dang, what's that game called? Something Midnight.
South of Midnight?
Yeah, South of Midnight. So like that, there's like a specific art direction that they took. If you put some DLSS 5 over top of that, it's gonna look weird. Like, because there was a specific art direction chosen for that game, or even other games that are maybe they're not aiming to be 4K, high fidelity graphics. A game like Cuphead or something like that. Like, what would that look like on a Cuphead? Because they chose a specific art direction, or even like any other game. Like they chose that art direction for a reason, and it's like the game is supposed to look like this. But then you have an AI come in and say, okay, we'll make it look better. Like, how does what does making it look better look like to different games? Because not everything is looking for, like, we want this to look like real life.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I don't know which generation exactly where it stopped, but like the graphics stopped being important recently. Like, it used to be more important. Oh my God, we went from 2D to 3D. Oh my God, we went from 3D to like these smoother polygons that don't look like boxes and shapes. And now, everything looks so good that it's like hard. The jump from generation in graphics is hard to tell unless you have the best TV, the best, unless your setup is up to date, you're not going to see a lot of the updates in graphics, really. And a lot of the most popular games today aren't really super graphically sophisticated. Like, look at Fortnite, Minecraft. Like, these games don't need to be graphically like super realistic. So yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah. Also, so this is also something that you don't have to turn on, by the way. So, but the way they ran it in the demos, it was running on two 5090 graphics cards. So to put that into perspective, one single 5090 graphics card costs about $4,000. So you need two of those to run this. Well, the way they ran it in the demo. So you set back about $8,000 to get.
Who's paying for that? Right.
But like, people that are interested in this, like, that's the cost that's what it's gonna cost you. But then keep in mind, like, there's a shortage of graphics card, RAM, memory, and all that stuff. So now if people are rushing out like, oh man, I need two 5090s now, people that want a single 5090 to play Cuphead or whatever they're playing, the price is going to be even higher now. Like, it's already 4,000. So now there's an increased shortage because people feel like they need this. People that are kind of on board, super duper pro AI, that feel like they need this. Like, oh man, now I got to get my second 5090 and create a further shortage.
That's insane.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah. Okay. Well, because of that, that's not accessible to the average gamer. But I don't know. I don't really know, because like right now, I feel like the video game industry is very anti-AI. So I don't really think this is even going to pick up a lot of traction. Well, it's definitely not because of the cost, but also.
Yeah, I think they're trying to
that as well.
Force a use case of AI into everything.
Yeah.
Not even just gaming, but like everywhere. Like, they're trying to force AI into everything. Yeah. I don't think everything needs AI. Like, if there's no, I think we got to step back and say, all right, what problem are we solving here with AI? Because who brought this up that, oh man, we need this to look even more realistic? Yeah, I don't know if anybody brought that up.
And I was just reading a good point. Somebody just made in this article, like, if this is going to be for the 5090s, like, it doesn't like make sense. Like, if this was going to be done for like weaker graphics cards, it would make a little bit more sense than to do it for the people who have the best graphics card. You know what I mean? Like, you're upscaling it for the people who have the best graphics already. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Completely unnecessary. I don't know. Somebody came up with this whose job it was to just think of new ideas for AI, but who knows? We'll see. All right. Anything else about this before we move on to? All right. Cool. So, all right. So this happened a couple of weeks ago, but just to talk about it, because I think it's a very interesting development. So the Pan-European Game Information Age Ratings Body, so it's the acronym is PEGI, which is the equivalent to ESRB in the US. is introducing new categories that's going to be added to their classification to help inform parents about what is actually in the games that they're allowing their kids to play. So it's going to update to include things like in-app purchases, play by appointment features such as like daily streaks and like online communities, paid random items, things like that are all going to be factors in the new rating of a game. So just to go into the categories real quick. So so purchases of in-game content. So games with time limited or quantity limited offers will be classified as PEGI 12. Games with NFTs or blockchain related mechanisms will be PEGI 18. Paid random items will be PEGI 16. Play by appointment mechanisms that reward returning to the game like at a certain time will be PEGI 7. And then safe online gameplay. If games contain entirely unrestricted communication features, like no blocking or reporting, it's going to be PEGI 18. So that's a pretty big shakeup, especially for a lot of games that had low ratings. It now is going to push them into like higher age ratings just because of these things. Not that I don't think that this is going to like super help. Like, are parents still going to buy games for these kids out of their age range? Absolutely. Probably is still going to happen. But I think it's pretty cool that they're taking the step to include some of this stuff in certain age brackets. So at least like parents have the information in front of them if they really wanted to look into what type of game they're buying for their kid. They can see that this stuff is included in the rating and they can really like make a better informed decision. Like, do I want my kid exposed to this and playing this? So I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think?
Same.
I think it'll be pretty helpful.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, if you want your kid to play mature stuff, that's up to you. Now you know what's in the game, and there's nothing wrong with them labeling it, whatever they need to label it. It's not like, I mean, I remember being a kid and going to a video game store and buying games for myself, but you know, most of the time,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it won't really. I don't think it'll help tremendously because kids will still buy the games for themselves. Parents send their kids to buy stuff unsupervised all the time, so they'll do it anyway.
But technically, they're not supposed to sell it to them. But
but yes, that is also true. But I don't think there's not much policing that happens on that, to be honest. And there's nothing really from stopping you from buying a game above your age bracket, like online or stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it definitely still happens. But for the parents that are more involved in the purchasing of games for their kids, at least they'll know. There's going to be a little bit more information on what makes a game a certain category, aside from like the normal, like, the normal stuff like drugs, sex, alcohol, like the stuff that's advertised. It'll be a little bit more in depth. So I like that. Good for Europe. Maybe that'll come to the US. But yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction, acknowledging the problems from in-game purchases and loot boxes and things like that.
You know what else is about to come to the US? This Marvel Tokon game that I wish was coming to Xbox.
Real.
Yes, we were watching the trailer before you jumped on. It looks pretty cool. If I liked fighting games, which I don't, I will. Well, it's not that I don't like them. I don't buy them. So, but if I did buy them, I would buy this game. But I know you guys are excited.
Yeah. So this trailer announced the Amazing Guardians new team. So it consists of Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Penny Parker. I'm a huge Penny Parker fan. I play her on Marvel Rivals, Star-Lord, and Ms. Marvel. So the new character announced here being Penny Parker. So it shows some gameplay of their team-up abilities and stuff like that. But yeah, coming, I want to say August?
I think so.
Yeah, I might as well go ahead and pre-order this game because I'm thrilled.
Yeah, it comes out August 6th.
Look at that. Right around the corner, James.
This might be a Steam purchase for me. So yeah. This game looks absolutely insane.
For sure. 4-man tag fighter. Looking forward to it.
Are you aiming to be in the top 4% of players? Like are you still in the top 4% of players in Marvel Rivals?
I haven't finished my placement matches from this season, so I'm not sure where I fall. But in fighting games, I'm not going to be anywhere near top 4. Not immediately. I got a lot of practicing to do. I got to get my 10,000 hours to become a master in fighting games.
Yeah, but it looks really good. It looks like an interesting game. So you guys definitely will have to talk about it when it's out.
Definitely. I think there's pre-order bonuses and stuff like that, and maybe a collector's edition. So I'm not sure whether I'll get this physical or digital yet. If it comes with like some cool stuff physically, then perhaps. But yeah, I'm not sure if they've announced that. So maybe I'll hold off on pre-ordering.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? We protested so much about how digital games are scams But every time I buy a game, I still always go back and forth on if I want to buy it digital or physical. It's just so much more. I hate that it's so convenient to just buy a digital game, but also just recognizing the potential ramifications of owning a game digitally. But I wish I had a harder stance on that. Unfortunately, I don't. Cool. Anything else in video game news before we move on to TV movie news?
Nope. Let's get into it. What's on TV?
Well, the Spider-Man trailer, finally. We've been talking for a couple of weeks about how a Spider-Man trailer should be coming out any day now, and we finally got one. It dropped, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, it dropped this past week. After they did this weird thing where they were just like releasing still images of the trailer, and I'm like, can we never do this again? I don't think that it was doing what they thought it was gonna do.
It was a weird thing they did where Tom Holland, I think, made a story posted on social media saying, you know, the trailer's about to come out and that the fans were gonna release parts of the trailer that day. And they ended up like releasing like 2-second like snippets of the trailers with the fan like saying something before the snippet. And it was really weird because now people are trying to like break down the snippet, and the trailer came out the very next day. So it
was weird. Yeah, I thought like maybe like it would have made more sense if they did it like a week before or something like that. Not if you're going to release the trailer the next day, because you're not really building up that much anticipation if you're just going to drop it the day after. It is strange.
And we were just talking about how like, where's the Spider-Man, you know, hype, you know? And then they do this weird stuff.
But all that to say, the trailer was solid trailer, I will say. The trailer was really, really good. Never do that again with the pre-drop thing, but the trailer was amazing, especially because Marvel trailers have not been super great the past couple of movies. I would say this is a very solid trailer. It didn't like give anything away. There's still a lot of questions to be answered, and there's a lot of like talk just about a lot of things that we saw in the trailer. So thank you, Marvel, for doing a trailer correctly for once, I'll say. And it's building up hype appropriately.
I feel like they get the Spider-Man, they do the Spider-Man trailers really good because a lot of people that are breaking down these trailers are noticing are the same with the last trailers from the last movies, that there might be scenes that are missing people or like are cut a certain way to make it look like, you know, there's only Spider-Man, like especially the scene where the ninjas like jumping at Spider-Man. Apparently a lot of people are saying there's people under Spider-Man, either a person or people, and people are trying to figure out who it is and all that stuff. And, you know, it makes sense the way the picture like kind of looks.
Yeah. So, but that's what trailers are supposed to do. Like, people are supposed to just be scrutinizing trailers because there's still an air of mystery there. You know what I mean? I will just always use the Captain America Brave New World trailer as an example, where they just literally gave away the fact that Red Hulk was going to be in the movie. Could have been a perfect element of surprise there, but no, there was no element of surprise in the entire movie because we already knew what was happening. But Sadie Sink's character, we don't know who she is yet. Still, we don't know who she's playing. So there's a lot of like speculation about that. Like, is she playing Jean Grey? Is she playing this character, that character? Like, they didn't give a ton away in terms of like that element of it. And there's still a lot of mystery surrounding the plot. So it was definitely really well done.
From what I'm seeing, it's heavily leaning towards Jean Grey.
Yes, that is what the people are saying, and the theories kind of back that up a little bit. But I'm going to stay away from the fan theories. I will refuse to let myself get enthralled by the fan theories. But I will say, shout out to New Rockstars for their...
number 2 of Spider-Gwen?
I think that was going around. Some other like really random characters were going around. I forgot who people were saying. But I think that Jean Grey is probably the strongest contender. Shout out to New Rockstars for their 48-minute breakdown of a 2-minute trailer.
You can always count on EA Ball.
It was a very good breakdown. Like, the trailer was 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe, and here we are 48 minutes in, still breaking down elements of the trailers.
Yeah, shout out to my guy from Screen Crush too, because you know, so I'll be watching both of them.
Yeah. But all that to say, the trailer pulled in 718.6 million views in its first day and is officially the biggest trailer in the world. Previously, it was the trailer for GTA 6, and it got 250 million more views. Sorry, the second trailer. It got 250 million more views than the second trailer for GTA 6. So that's crazy. I'm not really surprised by that at all, though, because again, like, Spider-Man is a very popular property. Like, I always said that like they could just shadow drop Spider-Man and it would still do massive numbers in the box office. So we didn't even need a trailer. Just say it's out, guys.
I don't need no trailer. I don't need no critic reviews. If it's Spider-Man, I'm going to
It's one of those movies that like has that kind of like that the juice behind it. So, but all that to say, the trailer was really good. I probably don't even need to see another trailer. I think I'm probably not gonna, if a second trailer drops, which it probably will, maybe like a month or two before July, I probably won't watch it. This trailer's all I need, and I'm just gonna go into it with fresh eyes and be happy for it.
This is Tom Holland's fourth solo Spider. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, and the universe reset. So if you've never seen Spider-Man before, just start here because the universe has reset. You see how silly that sounds, everybody? Watch JoJo's in order.
And you can tell this movie's gonna be good from the trailer, right?
Yes.
Right?
I can.
Just like I can tell the Crimson Desert is gonna be good from the trailer.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
See?
Big bang.
Point taken, Jaja. Sure. Okay. Well, when you play it, I want you to come. I'm dying to know what your real opinion is. Yeah. I mean, trailers can also be deceiving, but this movie, I'm 100% sure that this movie is going to be great. But you're right. I see how I'm sounding now. I hear it. I take it back, Jaja. You're right. But yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. It comes out in July, and yeah, it's
right around the corner.
Yeah, right around the corner. Cool. All right. So next, before we talk about, we won't really go in depth with Invincible since James, you didn't watch all three. Did you say that you watched Invincible?
I didn't.
Or did you not watch? Oh, never mind. We're not going to talk about it at all then. Let's talk about One Piece though.
Wait, you can give a brief. Well, okay, we can talk about One Piece. Go ahead.
Well, we can talk. Well, actually, do you want to talk about Dune first? No. Well,
can you get it out the way?
The trailer came out.
Yeah.
To be transparent, I've only seen the first Dune movie, and I barely even saw it because I was in and out.
Who put me on to Dune? Was it one of you guys?
It definitely was not me.
Okay. Well, I'm super hyped for this movie, and I cannot wait for it to come out. And
I know.
And it's funny because it's coming out at the same time as Doomsday, so that's pretty ballsy.
I know. So a lot of people are predicting that Doomsday is going to move because Dune is an IMAX film. So a lot of people are like, and Doomsday is presumably also like an IMAX film. So people are like speculating, how are there going to be enough IMAX screens for both Dune and Doomsday to be out at the same time? So people are speculating that Doomsday is probably going to move back or up. We'll see if that's true. It makes sense though. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But I'm looking to see both of these movies. And they debuted Robert Pattinson as one of the villains, and he looks absolutely like insane in the movie. You barely can recognize him. So.
Yeah, he does. He looks a little crazy. But that's good. I wasn't the hugest fan of Dune when I saw the first one. I was told that the second one gets better, so like maybe I'll find the time to just sit down and watch the second one. But the first one was really, you really have to be locked in for the entire time, and I just was not. So maybe I'll give it another try because I know it's good. Like I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Dune, but I don't know if it's my cup of tea. Just like James and Game of Thrones. I don't know. Not my cup of tea.
I don't think I'm a big Dune fan. I did try watching the first one, but it didn't really grasp me. So I'll leave this to the actual Dune fans and not LARP as a Dune fan.
Yeah. But it is going to be interesting with both of those movies slated right now to come out at the same time. And if Doomsday actually keeps their release date, I will be very surprised. But we'll see as we get a little bit closer.
I will be alone in my fandom.
Well, maybe I'll watch it.
Cool. Talk to me about
Invincible. Just start with part 3, Shannon. Just start with part 3 of Dune.
Yeah, because I'm sure I definitely won't be lost if that's the case.
I don't recommend that at all.
Invincible is off to a good start. I'm not gonna give away any kind of crazy spoilers, but episode 3 left us on a good cliffhanger for the remaining episodes that are to come. So it's definitely really good. Definitely watch it if you have not seen it yet. That's all I'm really gonna say about it. It was a good 3 episodes, so I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the season. We don't have to go in depth about anything, but solid Invincible starter episodes.
Good start. I watched the first one. I don't know why I thought only one episode was coming out, because I watched the first one and I was like, oh snap, there's a second episode. But then I saw there was a third episode. I was like, okay,
usually they do that thing where they release 3 and then the rest of it is week to week, which I don't know if I'm a huge fan of. I feel like just drop the whole thing. If you're just drop the whole thing, if you're gonna do that, or go week to week, like one or the other. It's weird, but whatever. If you haven't watched it yet, definitely watch it. It's good. I really want to talk about One Piece though, and what you guys thought of the second season of One Piece.
More absolute gas. I thought it was fire.
It was great. It was great. Another solid adaptation, another solid season. I didn't really have doubts that season 2 was going to live up to season 1. I didn't, but it was great. I was not surprised at all about how good it was. I think they did Chopper really, really well. Although people do have complaints about his, what's the form called? Where he's like the big man form. That form was a little creepy. I didn't like the face
that did look
on that
weird.
one.
I wasn't expecting that to be an actual actor. I thought it would also be CGI, but I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, it did look a bit jarring, I must admit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even in the anime, it looks kind of weird too. So
yeah, but it definitely looks less weird in the anime. I don't know. The face was a little bit too detailed for me. I wasn't really. It was a little
teeth. It was
yeah, it was a little scary. But and I was nervous about how his other forms were going to look. For the most part, they nailed it. I just think they didn't really nail it with the face of that form. But it was really solid. So watching this, I don't know how much I was expecting them to cover in this season. Because it was only 8 episodes, but when it ended where it ended, so basically this is not really a spoiler, but it ends.
Wait, don't no spoilers.
I was gonna say
I'm not. The last episode.
I'm not spoiling it. I'm just saying where it ends.
All right.
It's not a spoiler. You've already seen One Piece, so how is anything spoiled for you? I'm just saying can I say where the season ends? Also, we're 2 weeks in, Jaja. I feel like you're eliminated from spoilers at this point. But I'm not gonna spoil the story. I'm just saying the part of the story that season 2 ends on. It's the end of the Drum Island arc. It's not a spoiler. Obviously, you only have 1 episode left, so it's not hard to decipher that that's where it's going to end. But when they ended there, and really, we did not go into the Alabasta arc at all. So I'm just like, what is the end goal of this show? And since then, there have been interviews that have come out saying Oda does have a vision of where he wants the live action to end. It's obviously not going to be 1-for-1 with what the anime is doing right now. But I was just wondering, like, where will it end? What is the goal? Because this is going to go on. We haven't even done Alabasta. If we're going to continue with these 8-episode seasons, where are we finishing? That was like the huge question that I had after I saw that it stopped there. I thought that I think that this show could benefit from being longer than 8 episodes. And I know that people say that for a lot of things, but I feel like, especially for this show, I feel like we could have easily had a 16-episode season, and you could have covered all the things that were covered in this season, plus Alabasta, and then moved on from there. But that's just my opinion. James, I don't know if you felt that way too, or if you were just okay that it ended at the Drum Island arc.
Yeah, I was all right where it ended, because it felt okay. Like, the time and care they put into Drum Kingdom, it was like, okay, this kind of makes sense to stop here.
Yeah.
I guess it ended at a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chopper and his different points. So Walk Point, they showed regular reindeer. Heavy Point, when he's the weird looking human guy, and his Brain Point. They all look good.
Yeah.
And then ending off with the end of the Drum Kingdom. I think it makes perfect sense.
I guess it makes sense, but I'm just like, okay, now we're going to be waiting another 2 years. Hopefully it's not that long, because I think that they have already started filming season 3. But I don't know. It just made me wonder what the plans are for how far the show is going to go and where they're going to end it. They've started already introducing characters that come in later in the show anyway, so people already know that the intention is to kind of truncate the live action a little bit more. But it's just very interesting to see the pacing and figure out
some characters. I think some good Easter eggs of stuff that's to come later. I think with people watching that have already seen One Piece and know what these things are alluding to, some of the people took it as oh, they're doing this way too early. But that's what Easter eggs are. It's you're supposed to it's a treat for people that if you know, you know. It's not like they're spoiling things. It's actually the people that are talking about it are spoiling it more than the show itself is showing stuff. Some of the characters that showed up, I'm like, oh snap, we typically wouldn't see this person until later, or we typically wouldn't get this information.
Right. And also, guys, it's an adaptation. It's not a 1-for-1. We're going to copy literally everything that happens in the anime. That's not what an adaptation is. You know what I mean? And it can't, it's not realistic also. It has to be different. It has to kind of pull the story in a little bit better than the anime does. Otherwise, it would not work. It's a very ambitious thing to even think would happen. But yeah. Jaja, we're sorry. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, I seen something. I don't know how true it is, that they were planning for 12 seasons.
Oh, I saw that too.
Just with what they've been including and excluding, I think they're doing a pretty good job as far as pacing wise. they're, getting arcs done in a very short amount of time and including a lot of the key details that, made the story what it was. And, I think they're doing a really good job as far as covering certain topics and like some of the like really emotional scenes still like hit the same in the live action.
Yeah, they do.
So I could also see people who've never seen One Piece watching the show and being like, this is absolutely ridiculous. But put that to the side. I think all the characters that are like that they've casted, I think they're doing they casted perfect. Like
Oh yeah,
every
perfect
character
cast.
is like
Yeah.
hitting what they needed to do for that character. So I'm thoroughly enjoying. I'm impressed. Like I think season 2 might be better than season 1, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
I think it's perfect. Yeah. It's perfect casting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got nothing but good things to say about the show. I love the main character Luffy when he does like the Luffy voice. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. Where he goes into like this, where he's like kind of slurring his words, or it's like a little lisp or something like that he got going. Like his Luffy voice is so dope. But yeah, the show's great. It's amazing.
Yeah. And we're obviously gonna ignore all of the.
I forgot to comment on Choppa. Choppa, the way they animated Choppa, I think it was like just his facial expressions were so, I think, very like detailed and like he was cute. Like I'm just gonna say it. Like Choppa was adorable. So
yes.
Yeah, that was really cool how they did his character.
Yeah, he was really well done. You could definitely tell that they had a lot of money for the CGI budget, for sure. Yeah. Because he didn't look out of place at all. Like it blended in really well. There was obviously a lot of online hate for obviously Vivi because she is brown, but to those people I will say shut up. And I think she was specifically her, Chandra. I think her name was Chandra. Shout out to her. I know her from Bridgerton. But she did a great job. She was a great Vivi. I think she's amazing. She did a great job as Vivi. And if anyone has a problem with that, then they're miserable people. But yeah, I'm looking forward to like seeing her more in the next season in the Alabasta arc. But yeah, I saw, to your point, Jaja, I saw that article about 12 seasons too, and I mean that makes sense to me, obviously, because of how long One Piece is. Like 12 seasons makes sense. I just think it's an ambitious adaptation.
And then they would have to
if that is true.
Kind of quick, to keep the character.
I just feel like they just continuously just need to be shooting all that at all times. Like just like shoot it all now.
10 more years of this.
Pretty much.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about, but that's what happens when you choose a show like One Piece to adapt into live action.
And then are we getting like a readapted version of the animated series? Like,
yeah, we are.
It is coming.
And then the original show hasn't even ended yet. Like this.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's insane. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it was great. Okay. I don't know if we need to go over the Oscars, because Oscars we're kind of, what are we, like 2 weeks removed from the Oscars now? I don't think we have to go over.
We don't have to go over everything. I just want to shout out Sinners for his 4 awards that have won.
Oh, yes.
Michael B. Jordan, shout out to him. He's, come a long way. And that dude, he's definitely rose in the ranks of my, like, want to see actors. Just, I want him to keep doing his thing because that was amazing what he did in Sinners. And then,
yes,
I guess the other movie, One Battle After Another, which is like number 1 on my like next movie I'm gonna watch list.
It's so funny because One Battle After Another has such mixed reviews. Like my mom talks about all the time about how she doesn't understand how it's getting so much praise, because she really didn't like it. But I'm like, you're not. But yet she's telling me to watch it. I'm like, you're not selling it very well to me. I don't know, but but yeah, it's that obviously has been dominating the award season also.
So what is that podcast homework for this week? Did you see it, James?
I haven't, huh?
I think we should watch it and review it next week.
I was going to rewatch Sinners. I have the DVD Blu-ray, so that wasn't my plans. I think I don't remember what I was watching instead.
I've seen Sinners probably like 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah, and it was on TV the other day. I watched it. I'll watch One Better After Another this week. Maybe I'll see how long it is.
Where is it?
See what my oh yeah, is it out? Is it even out on streaming?
I think it's on HBO Max.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I will watch it so that I can stop hearing about it Um,
And then I guess I've been hearing about this Frankenstein movie.
Oh, I've seen Frankenstein.
Is it?
That one also has. I thought it was good. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so you know when the
That's on
Oscars come
Netflix.
around, I like to pick a few of the movies that is on there and just check them out and see what they were all about. Weapons is another one that's really high on my list that I've
I
never
also want to
seen.
see Weapons. I heard Weapons was very.
Just some other
That was.
honorable mentions. F1 got a couple awards. Avatar Fire and Ash got a couple of awards, and of course we know K-pop Demon Hunters was going to win something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think K-pop Demon Hunters is just going to be immortalized forever as like a top tier animated film.
I mean, we thought the Minecraft movie was bad and Mario, but K-pop probably did way bigger numbers than them, right? Or went super more viral.
I think so. I think it did. Yeah. Well, because it was on Netflix, so it wasn't in the movie theaters. So, well, it wasn't. It made a lot of movies. They put it in the movie theaters, like the sing-along version. So, and that made a lot of money both times they put it in the theaters, but it didn't come out in the theaters initially. So, but I think it did like record numbers on Netflix. So, yeah. All right, let's move on really quickly. Jaja, did you watch this video that I put into the rundown? Let's skip just real quick. There's a live action Samurai Shampoo that's coming, since we're talking about One Piece, from the One Piece and Cowboy Bebop production team. Don't know how excited people are about this. I never watched Samurai Shampoo, so I'm very indifferent. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
I would check it out.
Okay.
Of course, fandom spaces is weird now. They call this Unk Slop. So
what does that mean?
Exactly. What does that mean? But okay. Shows like this, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, it's called Unk Slop because it's comes from a specific time period where like the anime was coming on Tsunami. So they say these shows are not actually good. It's just nostalgia bait for unks. But I mean, I would definitely check this out.
I really hate that.
I'm telling you, fandom spaces right now are in a very weird state.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody even likes anything anymore.
I don't. Okay, great. I'm gonna watch it just to spite Gen Z. Okay.
But I get what they're talking about, the style of anime it is. It's a specific style that what had that style? One anime came out recently on Netflix that had that style. Is it I think it's Samurai Shampoo. No.
Are we gonna
I forget the name of it. But keep going.
Okay, but are we gonna call One Piece Uncle Slop? Because One Piece started in 1996. So I don't understand. I don't understand. It started airing in 1996. So what do y'all have to say about that?
I think it's more of a style than when it
I don't
came
understand.
Out. Or a combination of both.
Okay. Okay. Well, I reject that. So that's all I have to say. Okay. Before we wrap up, just a nice little story and others. Jaja, did you see the video? Did you see this video that I put in here about this dancing robot? Okay. So, at a restaurant in California, a dancing robot that's there to entertain the guests. And if you haven't seen this video, it's been making the rounds on social media this past week. It's a full-on robot, like it stands up and everything. So it's just in the restaurant to dance. It started malfunctioning. So it got too close to a table from this video and it started like just knocking things off the table. So the restaurant staff were trying to restrain and looked like shut down the robot, but they weren't able to shut it down, and it looked like they were barely able to restrain it. And it's funny because it just kept dancing as they were trying to turn it off. And a lot of people think it's funny. I thought it was very funny, but a lot of people are like, this is kind of scary because the robot, like, it's a happy, fun dancing robot today, but then like it's another robot that like wants to stab you tomorrow. Robot revolution is starting.
I thought it was
guys.
Hilarious that they were trying to pull the robot away
what did you
while
guys
it's
think
still
of the video?
dancing, and it's like trying to react to being pulled and dance at the same time. It's things like that are gonna happen if we're gonna use robots to do stuff like that.
Yeah, but today
we've all seen iRobot, right?
It's something else.
Like we all know
why go down this road. But here we are. Exactly. Okay, well, you're a little too casual about that. James, how do you I feel like you are not concerned with robot revolution at all.
Yeah, nah. So fun fact, my master's is with a focus on robotics. This right here looks like it was just a pre-programmed dancing thing and they tried to turn it off from the app, but it just didn't work. It doesn't look like the robot like went off the rails and was like, nah, stop. I'm not going to stop dancing. I'm going to keep on dancing. It looks like somebody hit the dance button on this and it just was doing its dance, but it was just too close to the thing. Because yeah, you can see the lady was like trying to turn it off from the app.
Yeah.
But like there was no physical button on it to stop it. So like they were like trying to physically move it. But I mean, it's already doing its dance number. So like Again, it's just going to keep on doing the thing that it was pre-programmed to do. It's not like the robot was like gained sentience and was like, oh, they're trying to stop my party right now. So,
well,
not to
I know,
be a stick in the mud or anything like that. But.
I'm not saying that. No, that's a little bit dramatic. But it's just the fact that they weren't able to turn it off.
Yeah, this was a design flaw. They definitely should have had a physical, like, on robot way to stop it, because it looked like they were like literally just trying to pick it up and move it while it was doing the thing that it was supposed to be doing. So.
Yeah, like shouldn't robots have like a physical like kill switch type of thing? Like it's kind of weird that there was none of that to be found anywhere. But yeah, it was funny. So James, do you not think that robot revolution will happen ever, or do you think that people are just dramatizing?
I think people are dramatizing right now. Because I mean, any program is only going to do what you have programmed it to do. So if there's no stab function on this dancing robot, like it's not going to start stabbing anybody. All it's going to do is dab and wave its arms. Like it doesn't have stab as a pre-built function on it.
Okay, so you think robot sentience will never happen?
Not anytime soon.
Okay, you heard it here, guys, from a robotics major.
Like it probably doesn't have the joints to make a proper stabbing motion like that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We're a ways off from robot sentience, says James. I believe him.
Yeah, take one word for it, guys.
I will. All righty. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for another week of the pod. As always, you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram @BlerdsNerds, subscribe to follow us on TikTok @BlerdsNerds_pod. Wow, sorry. Send us an email, blerdsnerds@gmail.com. If you're a creator of color in the nerd space and want to come on to talk about your work, we would be happy to talk to you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're just looking to get our numbers up on the channel. I know our episodes are kind of long sometimes, but just go over there and give it a subscribe. But you can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast app of choice. And thank you for the continued support on there to all our audio listeners. Make sure to tell a friend about the Blerds Nerds podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.